Hendry tops the crowd-sourcing title again for Monday. Does he need the GoFundMe money now that Chille DeCastro has taken over his fundraising efforts? Manuel Mata suffers another self-inflicted error as his bond was revoked. Are the police targeting him and his cohorts, or is he just dumb enough to be in the wrong place at the right time? Plus, Blue Bacon's attorney files to have Chille DeCastro removed from his own lawsuit. What the what? Welcome to the Auditing Insanity Newscast for Monday, February 3rd and Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. I'm Johnny Jones, and I'm going to be your host for big stories on Chille DeCastro, Manuel Mata, and Hendry. We're glad to have you with us tonight. So let's jump right into the fun as we ask you to focus on Manuel Mata goes to jail again. That'll show him. Monday saw the return to custody of YouTuber Manuel Mata, who had his bond revoked Monday morning at a hearing following his arrest 2 weeks ago at the Tarrant County Commissioner's Court. Mata was on hand as attorney C.J. Grisham was briefly detained outside of the meeting in a dispute over Grisham's status to conceal carry within a courtroom in Texas. Mata apparently intervened by saying, "This is fucking bullshit," as police were escorting Grisham from the building. Mata's arrest resulted in a ticket that resulted in Monday's bail revocation hearing. Grisham was not allowed to represent Mata at the hearing as he was named as a witness by the prosecution. Mata, instead, paid a private lawyer $2,500 for his Monday appearance. According to an eyewitness named Terry that appeared on Harvey Freebird's livestream on Monday, it was a relatively straightforward process. Mata had been out on an appeal bond for a conviction for interference with public duties. Terry said that the prosecution blamed Mata and C.J. Grisham for creating an atmosphere at the Tarrant County Commissioner's Court where 30 supporters were attempting to intimidate police as Grisham had been arrested. According to Freebird, Mata also violated the terms of his bond that were meant to keep him 25 feet away from any active police investigation. Freebird claimed that Mata's sentence for that was 6 months, and he was free on an appeal bond. Carolina and Fort Worth, joining Freebird's panel, would later state that it was just 90 days, leaving some confusion as to the original sentence. Terry also claimed that a Fort Worth police officer testified under oath that Grisham is currently under investigation for impersonating a law enforcement operative. That person also testified that as part of their investigations, they watched the YouTube channels of suspects. Back in the live stream, Carolina and Freebird, joined by witness Terry and YouTubers John Philax and Clash with Bow, the group wondered aloud what they should be doing now that one by one they're all racking up bail revocation hearings and doubling the amount of money it takes each time to bond out. While Mata was set at $5,000 for today's bond revocation, Carolina herself is facing $8,000 in bond the next time she's arrested following multiple arrests last week, one of them involving her own time addressing the Tarrant County Commissioner's Court. The group had no answers as they talked, other than Carolina openly stating that she would not appear at Tuesday's Tarrant County Commissioner's Court meeting. They went on to share conspiracy theories, with Philax stating that they needed at least 1 million more people to back them in order to make change in Fort Worth. Roughly $500 was raised in Freebird's side chat to get a bail bondsman, and Mata was shown as having his bond paid, was released Monday evening. Hendry smashes goose eggs for GoFundMe title. Hendry returned to form on Monday with a random $25 donation to his Support Craig's Work campaign, one of 2 donations for the day that broke the market free from the stranglehold of goose eggs that took over the market on Sunday. Hendry was joined by a $5 donation to Lane Meyer's Give Send Go Legal Defense Fund, which is now only in the red by $5 for the year after losing significant donations back in January. Neither donation was remarkable nor a reflection of any news for either YouTuber on Monday. In fact, we're not sure why Hendry is still getting new donations, as he's both already filed his appeal for his recent conviction of felony stalking and misdemeanor charges out of Indiana. He's turned most of his fundraising efforts over to Chille DeCastro. DeCastro has taken over raising funds for Hendry while he's serving his current jail sentence, moving donations away from going to Craig's GoFundMe and allegedly being taken in by DeCastro's DeleteLaws.com. The YouTuber has made it clear that he is now the primary support mechanism for Henry's commissary and is presumably using his new donation function on his site to take in direct donations from his fans. DeCastro himself ended his multiple GoFundMe campaigns back in September for unknown reasons. He had previously taken in a combined $50,000 from his fans on his GoFundMe campaigns before shutting them down. By going to direct donations on his site and literally setting his donation screen up to suggest up to $500 from his fans, DeCastro is avoiding public scrutiny of his non-public campaigns for Hendry and others. In fact, there is more and more evidence that DeCastro's resurgence and financing may be coming directly from fans who are giving thousands of dollars to DeCastro directly. This is coming without proper accounting, and for sure will be a nightmare come next year's taxes should the donations be properly reported. Hendry himself received more bad news as his March trial in Sullivan County, Indiana, for felony intimidation, misdemeanor disorderly conduct, and misdemeanor refusing to leave emergency incident area was pushed back to May. No hearing date has been set for his appeal of his Vermilion County conviction.
Journalism is not free. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, keeping the cats fed, and writing new stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, we do have a GoFundMe set up at the address on screen right now. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch the advertisements on our videos, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.
DeCastro gets spanked in new blue bacon court filings. In a stunning motion filed on Friday but released via the California Superior Court on Monday, attorney for Michael Blue Bacon Piratini, or Paul Katranak, went so far as to ask Judge H. J. Ford, III, to terminate Chille DeCastro from his own lawsuit. Katranak stated that this lawsuit has been going on since 2023. DeCastro has already been sanctioned over $10,000 which he hasn't paid. Nothing the judge seems to do seems to change things, and even though DeCastro has had a lawyer for over 6 months now, he said nope to participating in his own lawsuit. DeCastro and his lawyer, Stephen T. Jeblin, seem to be holding firmly to DeCastro's pledge to bleed Piratini dry financially by withholding discovery and interrogatory requests, refusing to respond to motions, and otherwise delay proceedings. Jeblin, going further, essentially indicated that he had seen DeCastro's latest nonsensical responses to Katranak's requests the same day he filed them, and that their content did not matter because the lawsuit has been reduced to a single charge involving public or private personas which would not be impacted by DeCastro's lack of responses. DeCastro filed suit in 2023 with a then February 2025 date set for a jury trial, alleging a vast criminal conspiracy involving the so-called masshole troll mafia. His lawsuit was essentially a retread of a federal civil rights lawsuit he filed against Kate Peter and others in Massachusetts in 2022, which later evolved into a copyright case against Peter, Google/YouTube and others that was later dismissed. When given the opportunity to present the evidence he has, which he claims includes hundreds of screenshots from his army of loyal supporters, he refused to do so or provided answers to questions posed to him that are purposely vague to the point of being insubordinate. An example of this came when DeCastro was requested to do the following. Describe and identify all documents that support your third cause of action for trespass against Piratini. He responded. These documents come from screenshots of the Discord account called Troll Mafia. However, because I am not a member of Troll Mafia and they would not allow me on the Discord account, they come from people who took screenshots or took pictures of the commentary within the Troll Mafia. Michael Perdini will have to deny under oath that he is a member of the Troll Mafia. He is a member of the Troll Mafia, and so he is a part of the conspiracy to instill fear, harass, stalk, defame, and take my right to publicity. DeCastro has yet to submit said screenshots into evidence. But it goes further, as the hundreds of pages of supporting documents lay out DeCastro's lack of responses, even after being directly ordered by the court to respond and sanctioned for refusing to answer. State A. Your name, B. Every name you have used in the past, and C. The dates you used each name. Jose DeCastro. Chille. State the date and place of your birth. California. State A. The name, address, and telephone number of your present employer or place of self-employment, and B. The name, address, dates of employment, job title, and nature of work for each employer or self-employment you have had from 5 years before the incident until today. No. It's irrelevant. The incident is why Michael Perdini got himself sued. Is your response to each request for admission served with these interrogatories an unqualified admission? If not, for each response that is not an unqualified admission, A. State the number of the request, B. State all facts on which you base your response, C. State the names, addresses, and telephone numbers of all persons who have knowledge of those facts, and D. Identify all documents and other tangible things that support your response and state the name, address, and telephone number of the person who has each document or thing. I will not be listing the names of my mother, family members, co-workers, colleagues, investors, or anything of the sort in any sort of public document. For people have written letters on my behalf and will testify to the statements made in those letters or even give it a sworn statement. However, in dealing with the Troll Mafia, I will not be submitting any of my personal contact information in public documents. I'm the one suing Michael Perdini, I'm not being sued. Katranak laid out hundreds of these partial, non-answers and complete refusals by DeCastro as he needs to show all possible evidence of DeCastro refusing to take part in the discovery process in order to have DeCastro either removed from the case or the case out and out dismissed. His timeline of events included the first sanctions by the court, which have yet to be paid, of $1,635 being issued against DeCastro in March of 2024. With 2 more financial sanctions being issued of $4,500 against DeCastro over the course of 2024. While Katranak has asked for another round of sanctions against DeCastro, he admits that they're ineffective at best. He also argued that despite Attorney Jeblin's claims that DeCastro's responses are no longer valid because the portion of the lawsuit they may relate to has been dismissed, DeCastro has been ordered 3 times and sanctioned to comply with the court's orders and refuses to do so. The motions hearing to discuss terminating sanctions and or more financial sanctions against DeCastro is scheduled for February 21, 2025. Please note that we've included Katranak's unedited filings as part of the print edition of this news story. ReallyCoolNews and the Auditing Insanity Newscast work in conjunction with the public documents of Jose DeCastro to provide you with these documents. It cost roughly $75 to provide you with copies of these documents, which was made possible through your contributions. If you'd like to contribute towards the purchase of future documents, you can do so through our pay applications.
And we're back. Well, golly gee. That was another edition of the newscast for sure. Tonight, join Jim Finch and the gang for another edition of what some are calling Mrs. Tom Presents. Naked Pope 4. The Cell of Phil. We're not sure what they mean by it, but buckle up and avert your eyes from some ungodly sights tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. With that wonderful image, good night, everyone.